Hey, on the Implicit Show, it's Q&A Tuesday, so I'm going to answer your questions. We're going to pop up your questions on screen, and we're going to get right down to it. We're going to talk about fear. We're going to talk about living. We're going to talk about what to do when you're unmotivated. Tapping into the true potential of the human spirit. This is Humanity Empowered. This is the Implicit Show. Hello, what up, and welcome to the Implicit Show. I'm your host today, Bren Dubé, and I'm pretty pumped about this, guys. I always love these Q&A Tuesdays because it's not so much about me and my story and what I'm talking about, what I'm working on, but this is super cool because I get a chance to get to know you guys. I get to know where you're at in life, where you struggle, and maybe, through my life experience, through my personal journey, I'm able to help you guys with some of the things I've learned. I mean, there's certain things, guys, that I've learned that have completely changed my life. And if I could pass those on to you, well then that's all I want to do. So let me get your comments up on screen here. Boom, there we go. This is super fun. There's a little gesture for you. Bears likes that one. Anyways, Rachel Johnson's here. What up? So if you're in the comment section, let me know because I'd love to make sure everything's working here with the live video. Again, we're live every week, 5 days a week on Facebook, Periscope, YouTube, Twitch. So as you can imagine, it's a lot to juggle. I got these phones. If you can see me, I got two phones here, but I'm excited to speak with you guys. I'm excited to chat. I'm excited to get this going. So, real quick. Okay, cool. It looks like we're working. Looks like everything's live. Perfect. So, hey, again, if you guys want to pop in the comment section, let me know where you're from. Let me know what you're thinking about today. Let me know, are you having a good day? Is there something awesome that happened to you today that you really want to share? Or maybe it's something crappy happening to you today or something funny or something. Share it with us. Let's start a little conversation. It'll be super fun. So I want to answer the first question. The first question was actually from Rachel Johnson. I'm glad she's here because she asked this question. And this question has to do with well, it's pretty simple, really. She asked about working out. She said, what kind of workout do you like doing? And what kind of music do you listen to during your workouts? And this also relates to a question I got from another friend, Shelby. And I asked her, she had a question last week or a couple weeks ago. It had something to do with fear. She said she's always, striving to do new things. She wants to do different things, but she kind of gets stopped. She gets crippled by fear. We got Sean in here. Sean, what's up, man? Always a pleasure. But yeah, she said she gets this barrier, this fear barrier. And this would also, I want to answer this fear thing, but I want to answer this workout thing in some way, at the same time with like the same thing. So look, when it comes to working out, any workout will work. You just got to move your body. You just got to get your heart rate going. Obviously it's best to find a trainer or find some videos online that you could follow, find something that really helps you. And the music, it doesn't really matter what music you listen to, whatever gets you excited, whatever makes you pumped up about working out. But also what working out has to do with fear is it can get you out of fear. Sometimes just getting in for a workout and moving from your thoughts, which is where fear lies, right? Fear is usually here. We're thinking about things, right? And as we think about it starts to come into our body, and all of a sudden our body's fearful, and we start to take this posture, and then, we get shut down, and we don't let ourselves break out of our comfort zone. We don't let ourselves take risks. We don't let ourselves go after the things we really want to go after in life. And so to just get shut down by fear like that's no way to live. And so one of the quickest ways, like if you need to get out of fear right now, like you have to do something, you have no choice, you're in the airplane and you're about to go skydiving and you have no choice. You have to jump out of this plane. If you got to do something right now, just do it. That's my advice to you on fear, because look, a lot of fear is based on like stopping and reflecting and thinking. But when you're in action mode, when you're working out or when you're taking action or when you're working or when you're playing or when you're, engaging in a good conversation with a friend or you're connecting with a loved one or whatever it is, when you're doing that, fear disappears. Fear's gone, right? Like if you got to get out of fear, get into something else. I mean, so many people, and I've personal experience with this myself. That's why I say this is fear is interesting. And this goes for anything. If you decide, okay, I got to get rid of this fear. This fear's on my mind. What do I do about fear? Man, fear is really kind of, right? How many times I just say fear? Because you're thinking about it. You're thinking about fear. You're thinking about fear. But what if you replace the fear with something else? What if you replace the fear with gratitude? And all of a sudden you started to think about all the reasons you're grateful. What about you started to maybe build a little bit of perspective and you start to think about how, wow, I live in North America or Canada or the US or Mexico or Europe or wherever, where we have the internet, where we have, society and cultures and civilizations that come together, work together to give us all of the amazing resources we have: this internet, this water, this food, this shelter, these fun recreational activities and games and stuff, right? And so when you switch from fear to gratitude and you start to it's a shift of perspective, but it's not just that, it's everything else. So if you got to get out of fear, step one is use your body. So move your body differently, work out, jump around, exercise, get into a stretch, just get into a different body state. And that's a start. That'll get you started, because the next step is you got to shift your focus. So shift from I'm thinking about fear to I'm thinking about gratitude, right? Ask yourself a different question. That'll get you out of fear. Sean's got a comment here. He says, fear is brain's way of alerting you to danger. It's exactly that, guys. Fear is there for a reason. I mean, so many of us, we want to get rid of fear, and that's fine. Fear doesn't feel good. I don't blame you for wanting to get rid of fear, but not until you can't do it until fear is giving you the message that it's trying to give you, right? Fear is not just here for no reason. Or we as humans, this is the best technology on earth. The human body. No, not your phone. No, not the rocket ships going to space. Like, the human body is the most amazing technology on the planet, right? And so think of it like everything here is here for a reason. Your fear is here for a reason. That anxiety, those nerves that you're having, that's here for a reason, right? I remember I was talking to a friend recently, and my friend called me and asked, Brent, I'm in a really tough time right now. I don't know what to do. I've been at this job for a long time. They don't appreciate me, and I'm not liking it, and I need to get out of here, but I don't, I'm afraid because, I can't quit my job. If I quit my job, then I'm going to have to go search for something else, and there's no guarantee to get anything else. But, I know if I stay here at this place, I'm not going to be able to do it. And I've got all this anxiety, and my partner doesn't understand me or my anxiety or any of these things. And so this person, my friend, was just going through this really tough time and all these fears and all this focus, right? And one of the first things I said was, okay, what is the message that all this anxiety, all this fear is trying to tell you, right? I mean, if you didn't have this fear, if you didn't have this anxiety, it wouldn't have brought you to the moment where you are right now, where you're contemplating life, where you're making new decisions, where you're literally changing your life, taking a new course in life. And so oftentimes when we're fearful, when we're depressed, when we're anxious, this is exactly what we need. It is exactly what we need. We don't want it, it sucks, but it's really what we need. And I mean, I'm going through this right now where I'm fearful in certain areas of my life, but I know every time I'm fearful, it's like the Tony Robbins quote, when people fail, they ponder, and when people succeed, they party. I don't know why I had such a tough time getting that out. Maybe I need some water. But anyways, if you guys have any more questions based on fear or have any comments to add to that, I'd love to engage in the conversation. Sean, you got anything to add, or Rachel, do you have any other questions regarding fear or exercise, which I said is a great way to get out of fear? I'm going to drink this water. Give me a second. So the last thing I want to say on fear really is to not be so in resistance with it, but rather accept it for what it is, accept the message, and then move on, replace it with something better, replace it with gratitude, replace it with excitement. Like, instead of thinking about what you're fearful about, think about something you're excited about, right? Because those two energies, fear and excitement, they're pretty similar, right? And sometimes it all comes down to a perception of, is this something that I'm excited about or something that I'm fearful about? All right, something to think about. Anyways, I got another question on the show. This question's from Karen Richards. Karen is super awesome. She recently interviewed me for a article that she wrote on her blog, Sweet Lemon Pies, I'm pretty sure. And I asked her if she had any questions for the show. And Karen's got a great way of asking people questions and really getting down to what it is that's going on in their minds. I mean, I found this out when she sent me the interview questions for our interview. She sent me like a list of like so many questions. There were so many details in depth. So this is a rather long message she sent me, but here we go. We're going to read it to you. And it says, I I've noticed how optimistic you are about everything in your life, and it is really inspiring. Do you think that living a life filled with optimism is a lifestyle or an attitude? I can't help but think some people truly believe happiness is not for them, you know? It is so great meeting people who choose happiness and understand that they have chosen it, because to me, living is happiness. The terrible stuff and the good stuff, it is all happiness because all of it is life. Okay. And she said at the end, I guess my question is, what is living to you? Is living just the miracle moments, or is it the difficult ones as well? And as a follow up, how does music express this so well? So, this is a great question, Karen. Thank you so much for the message. I would actually point this back to you guys on the show. I'd love to hear how you guys answer this. What does living mean to you? Right? And so she has some questions up here about optimism. So I'm sure I seem like a super optimistic, positive person all the time, right? And it's really like she says, is it an attitude or is it a lifestyle? You know, it is what it is. I'm optimistic. I just am. And so, but that's not to say I don't have my bad days. It's not to say I don't struggle, because I do. You guys only see me when the camera's on my face and when I'm pumped about life, when I'm excited to do this show and I'm excited to connect with you. I'm excited to make this kind of stuff happen. And so you don't see when I wake up when I wake up early in the morning and I'm sore from exercising every day, and I'm groggy and dehydrated and just like stiff, and I don't want to get out of bed, and I'm struggling with my willpower to push myself out of it. You don't see those kind of moments, right? And also you don't see the moments where I make a mistake, or somebody else on my team has made a mistake, or a family member, has something that they're going through, and I have to be there to support, right? You don't see these kind of things. And so happiness is such an interesting topic. I could talk about happiness for days, but optimism is something different than happiness, right? Optimism is just saying, I'm going to choose to look at the good in this situation. I'm going to do whatever I can to take my focus, to discipline my focus and focus it on what's going good as opposed to what's going bad, right? That's optimism. And that's really a lifestyle. Like you really have to gear up and condition yourself for that kind of behavior, because optimism doesn't just happen. I mean, I was so negative and pessimistic for such a long period of my life, and I'm still pessimistic sometimes. And then so it's a constant conditioning, it's programming, it's working out up for the mind and for your emotions and for your attitude, for your lifestyle. So optimism is one thing. And she had another comment here about, I'd love to hear your guys' comment on this. We got Sinatus in the comment section. What is up, buddy? I'm doing amazing. If you can't tell by the giant smile on my face all the time. How are you, man? Let me know. I'd love to know what you guys are thinking about this too. I can't help but think some people truly believe happiness is just not for them. That's very accurate. Like there's some people who happiness is not what they want out of life, right? Maybe they want significance. Maybe they want, contribution. Maybe they want to grow. Maybe they want just variety and adventure. Maybe they just want to see things. Maybe they just want to be a martyr, right? And they just want to work and serve others and do all these things. And happiness has no room in their lives, right? And so this is true. I mean, I like to think happiness is generally the goal of all goals, right? Like we all want to be, if not happiness is not the right word, maybe it's satisfied, right? We all want to be fulfilled in some way or another. So some people, I don't know, happiness is so interesting, because I remember I used to think if you were happy, you were weak, or if you were happy, you were unintelligent because you were ignorant to how bad the world is, right? The world's so bad that anybody who's happy in this world is just ignorant to how bad it really is. Right. And so that's such a negative point of view, but I was there. I really was. And so what shifted for me again was perspective, like I said, in fear, shifting, asking myself a new question. What can I be happy about? What's great about happiness? And so when I start to really put happiness on a higher level in my list of values, that's when things start to change. Because all of a sudden, happiness is awesome. All of a sudden I want to be happy, because I know that because I'm happy, I'm going to be more productive. I'm going to get more done. I'm going to be, connect better with the people around me. I'm going to make more friends. I'm going to inspire more people. I'm just overall things are just going to be good as long as I'm happy, as long as I'm in a good positive frame for the most part, right? And so that's kind of how I think about it. But how do you guys think about it? Like really, I did a short rant video recently, or I did it months ago and I shared it again recently. And in the video, I basically said, happiness, it's different for everybody. Some people have a long list of things that they need to be happy. And so what I mean by that is, for me to be happy, I need to make $2 million a year. I need to have the perfect body. My marriage needs to be amazing. My kids have to never hate me. I have to always feel good, never feel down, and everything's going to be perfect. Right. And so they got this long list. And so they tell themselves, I will never feel happy until this is done. And then I deserve to be happy. And there's other people who are as simple as, look, I woke up today, right? I jumped out of bed. I'm alive. I have a body like I'm happy. Thank you. I'm grateful. This is amazing. Right. And it's really interesting to see how those people go on to live life. Because this person with the long list, right, they may achieve, but they'll never be happy. They'll never enjoy it. They'll never reach the goal that they're after. And that's just sad. They'll end up at the end of their life with regrets of, man, like, what was I doing? Like, I wasn't even enjoying myself. I wasn't even happy. I kind of just like, is this all there is? That's the question, right? That's the quote of all the great people who have achieved, they've reached the money, they've reached the fame, they've reached the power, and they ask themselves, is this all there is? Like, that's it? I was working all day. I was torturing myself, making myself miserable so that I could do this. And they don't give themselves to enjoy the journey along the way to the destination. And so it's going to be different for everybody. What makes you happy? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to know, seriously, because it's different for everybody. I mean, for me, happiness is really two things. Happiness comes from self-acceptance and just accepting everything as it is, finding peace with the universe, right? Everything, it just is what it is. You can work to change it, but there's some things you can't change. And so my happiness comes from accepting that it just is the way it is, but at the same time pursuing more, right? Trying to change and influence what I can change and influence, not the things that I can't change or influence. And so focusing what I can do rather than what I can't do, that's where my happiness, that's where my optimism comes from. And yeah, as you can tell, like, I'm pumped all the time. Not all the time, but pretty often. Like I said, guys, even the people who you see on social media, on TV, on the people you look up to in the magazines, whatever, they all have their bad days. They all have bad times. They all feel down. They all get anxious. They all get nervous. They all get fearful. But, some of them have control over themselves. They have self-control and they're able to steer themselves back on track to where they actually want to be, right? Happiness, love, pride, success, excitement, passion, purpose, contribution, of course, whatever it is that they're after. And other people, as soon as the fear or the negative emotions hit them, they just they stay there and they just kind of ruminate and it doesn't really take them anywhere. And so that's no fun at all. Okay, what else do we got? Oh, wait, I'm pretty sure Karen has a few more parts to her question here. So we're going to go through it. And it says, it is so great meeting people who choose happiness and understand that they have chosen it, right? You choose happiness. Because to me, living is happiness. The terrible stuff, the good stuff, it's all happiness because all of it is life. So that's a really unique perspective. And I really like that. Thank you for sharing that, Karen. Super cool. Hey, we got Shelby here in the comments. What up, homie? Great to have you. She's got some more stuff here. It says, so I guess my question is, what is living to you? Is living just the miracle moments or is it the difficult ones as well? So this is a good question for you guys to ask. What is living to you, right? If I were to ask you, what does it mean to live? Or you ever kind of hear people say, you ask them, hey, how you doing? How you been? And they say, I'm just living the dream. Like, I'm living the dream. What does that mean? I'm so curious to you, right? Because it's going to be different for everybody. Just like happiness, for everyone has their own definition. Success, everybody has their own definition. What about living? Like, what does it mean to walk this earth? Like, to live this life, to be you? And I'll kind of give you some example of what living means to me. I I've been doing a lot of thought on this, obviously, because I'm always thinking about like self-awareness. How can I learn more about myself? How could I learn more about why I'm here? How could I learn more about like what kind of crazy beliefs or thoughts are going on in my head? Because obviously I'm a little weird and crazy. So I want to know what's going on in here so that I can share it with you guys so that you guys can understand a little bit more. And the one day I was thinking about it, and for me, it really means living is love. Love is living to me, because I feel like as human beings, especially human beings, there's so much love dialed into who we are in our biology, like just who we are as human beings, not who we are as Brent, as Shelby, as Sean, right? Who we are as people. And so I mean, you think about it, when a child is born, a child literally, if a child is not given to its mother and held by its mother, that child, that one experience of being taken away from its mother at birth will forever change that child. Not to mention, there's like a baby needs to be held. It needs to be loved. It needs to be cared for. It's like literally a need. A baby will die if you don't hold it. You could just like feed a baby. You just put the baby over there and we'll just like feed it. Right? But if nobody goes over there and loves that child and cares for that child and hugs that child and like literally feels love for it, that child will have complications. It could be fatal complications. And that's how dialed in love is to our life. So for me, living, I need to live love every single day. First of all, what does that mean? Love for life. That's first off. Okay, love just for being alive. Like, I'm here. I got some crazy opportunities. I got a computer in front of me. I got my whole life ahead of me to do whatever I want. Just amazing things. I've got so much going for me, and I count this all the time. I count my blessings all the time. I got water, man. I love water. I got fruits and vegetables in my fridge and in my cupboards. I'm pumped about that, right? And so that's love for me. I love life. I think about gratitude. Number two, I love myself. I start to think of like all the reasons why I love myself. For one, because I'm proud of myself. I've worked hard. I put in a lot of effort every day. Like, me putting in work and putting in effort. No, sorry, me putting in effort makes me feel good about myself. It makes me feel happy. I feel grateful for my body just for what it is. I'm just like, man, I was given this body. I wasn't born with any complications or diseases or anything. I haven't broken any bones. Like, I'm just super lucky. I'm very grateful for my body. And I start to think about the skills that I've developed. I've read so many books, and I've applied so many new habits, and I've broken bad habits, turned into really good habits, and developed them to the sense where it's just automatic. Like, I don't even have to think about meditating every day or writing in my journal or exercising. I just do it. It's automatic. And I think about how I'm proud of myself for doing those things. So I love for myself. And third is love for others. I do that every single day. I connect with you guys. This to me is love, guys. And to me, love is living, right? So connecting with on here with you guys, sharing the things that I love, the things that I'm passionate about, the things that have changed my life, and sharing that with you guys, connecting with you guys in the comments, connecting with you guys in the DMs and in the messenger. Like, I love that. Like, it's so just the comment sections, everything, having the conversations, hearing about what you guys are doing, right? Connecting with people in the community of Chatham, like the place I live in, going out to shows and performing and hearing, the stories about how people love music and stuff. That stuff to me is love. And so I chunk it all down to love. Obviously, there's other things that are important to me. Success, success. I want to succeed and contribute to others. I want to succeed in changing the world. I want to succeed in having an impact that is positive and leave a legacy that's here, but after I leave. And obviously, another thing is freedom. I just want to have fun. I think, like I said earlier, so many people, they have this long list of what it takes to be happy, but then they don't have fun. Like, what is that? Like, enjoy yourself. Have fun with it. Because it's the adventure. It's the journey along the way. It's nothing without enjoyment. It's nothing without fun. Okay, we got a comment from Shelby. She says, breaking bones is nothing. Stitches is nothing. I see it as I went and I lived. So I'm guessing you have gone through some breaking of the bones, Shelby, and you've had some stitches. I'm sure I've had stitches a couple times, but breaking bones I haven't. But that's a great perspective. all those things, oftentimes they only make you stronger. Like literally, a lot of times when the bone heals, sometimes the bone becomes even stronger than it was before it was broken. Sometimes, right? And so that's super powerful. We got a comment from Drench. Hello, what is up, Drench7? Twitch crew, I'm loving it. So if you guys have any more questions regarding this stuff, let me know. But I'm probably gonna head out of here. Just great day overall, guys. I'm super happy. I woke up early today, got all my things done, my whole list of personal development, self success rituals, whatever you want to call it. I got to come up with a word for that kind of stuff. I think that'll be fun. Dren7 has a question. Man, if you got a question, ask the question. I will see if I can answer it. But anyways, if you guys want to support what we're doing at Implicit, you can go to patreon.com/implicit. And there's some cool things there, that's where you could go and you could get books, you go and you get programs, you go and you get some coaching, mastermind, whatever it is. And also let us know if there's anything we could do for you at Implicit. Is there anything I could do for you personally? I just want everybody to be happy. So everybody have a good time. All right, we got a question here from Maddie Nelm. She says, my question is how to get over that bad day mood right off the bat. Right off the bat, how to get out of the bad day mood. This is an amazing question. And actually, Maddie, this is super cool. Thank you for asking. The thing about that is we all get into a bad mood and we build momentum, right? The day starts off bad and then it's pretty bad. And then it gets worse. And then as we stay in this bad mood, things just get worse, right? And so it builds momentum. And so that's why it's so important to be able to have the power to, when you're in a bad mood or when you're having a bad day, to snap out of it, right? It's just that snapping out of it that will give you the power you need to change the whole course of your day, which could change the course of your week, which could change the course of your month, your year, your life, your school career, your work, your relationships. It could change everything if you have that power to snap out of it. And seriously, for me, like I said earlier in the episode, and what I'll say now is you got to get into your body. Where a lot of times your bad mood is usually in your head. You're usually thinking about things in a certain way. You're remembering things that went wrong. You're just in a certain mindset, a certain mind frame. But if you could get out of that and get into your body, maybe one way is exercise. Exercise is a great way. Just go for a run, lift something, just jump around, jumping jacks. Another thing, dancing. Put on some killer tunes, put on some good tunes that you love, and just dance, man. That will change your mood instantly, because all of a sudden, there's science behind this, because when you move your body in a certain way, when you get endorphins, you get dopamine, you get serotonin, all those good feeling emotions out of moving your body and out of listening to good tunes. So that's super important. That's some stuff that I've used that have helped me snap out of it. Listen to a good song that you love, do something you love, talk to a friend you love. You really got to go from a bad mood day. Usually I feel like is a lack of just, oh man, James is getting mad. Yeah, a bad day. James is having a bad day, obviously. But it's a matter of just switching from what you don't like to what you do like. Do something you love, do something you enjoy, and you'll get out of it, and it will be a good time. Hopefully, let me know if that works for you. And if you have any more questions, anything, send them my way, because I love doing this kind of thing. I love connecting with you guys. I love answering your questions. So I'm out of here, guys. Peace.